Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed. Today, I am more than excited to introduce you Junie Moon. Junie is a love coach and women's empowerment leader. She helps women break free from past relationship baggage and unleash their fabulous true self. Once they fall in love with themselves, they easily attract their divine right partner. Thank you, Junie, for being here. Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. You have such an amazing summit going on. So wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You make it more amazing. I'm so happy to have you. So, I have a question for you to begin. I know we are going to be kind of free flowing, but what is the first thing that must be addressed to attract a new kind of soulful love? I know how you say it, soulful love. Beautiful word.
The first most important thing is to become your own soulmate. And I know that's not what people are thinking. People are thinking they've got to make the list of what they want in a partner, learn how to online date, do all those things, good communication, and all of that's wonderful. However, if people don't know who they are and they haven't let go of the past and they haven't come home to their true self now and love themselves now, they're not going to attract the level of partner that they desire. So they might want a kind of partner, but they have to be a certain way to attract it. So the first thing is to really come home to who they are, love themselves up, get aligned and be authentic, unapologetically authentic. So that's my suggestion, my strong suggestion.
I love it. I love it. I couldn't agree more. It's so important being ourselves and getting to love ourselves to attract that. So I know you really like to do the work on the deep work. You like to do the digging a little bit in the past and seeing those patterns and limiting beliefs that we often have. Even unknowingly, we don't know we have them, but they are there and they are ruling our life. So, how that looks like in your practice? How do you use those tools? What kind of tools you use to work on that?
Well, you said something that I think is really important, which is sometimes we don't know these things. And I want to say that times 100,000. There's so much we don't know. 95% of our brain is unconscious. So we might say, "Oh, I have an issue with this or I have a challenge with this and I have a pattern with this." That's what we know consciously. But most of our brain has absorbed and soaked in and taken on so many beliefs from our life, from all our experiences, and it's shaped us into being who we are now. So we need to shine a light on that unconscious realm. We need to unpack that big U-Haul of all the conditioning that we've picked up along the way so that we can be different and better in the next relationship. And so the greatest tool that I share with people is the shadow work. What's in
Mhm.
shadow? What's the blind spot? What have you lost access to in yourself? What did you say? I better not be like, I better not express myself because the last time I expressed myself, somebody hurt me, somebody judged me, somebody left me. So we need to shine a light on the programming and then heal it because it's not just about knowing the beliefs, it's not just about identifying the patterns, it's about unplugging, healing and unplugging it so that our next relationship really is more smooth and more conscious and you're more aware of how you're being. And again, when you can do the shadow work and release and be aligned, you're going to call in a very different type of partner, the partner that truly can match you in that soulful way.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. What comes to mind to me when you were saying that is, what about those ladies that are listening to us right now? And she's like, oh, I don't think I have any negative beliefs. So, what are the signs? How can somebody recognize that they have some shadows, like you
Yeah.
call them,
Yeah.
without really, knowing that they have a shadow.
Yeah. Thanks for that question. So I always say, what's not working in your life? What doesn't feel good? Because maybe you
Mm,
don't hear the thoughts. Maybe you don't know the beliefs, but you notice that you are overreacting in certain ways or you're judging other people. Anytime there's a charge around how you're being, there's a shadow lurking. There's a belief lurking. So maybe somebody shows up on a date and they don't stop talking and they're just talking and talking about how great they are, how great they are, how great they are. We hear that often with women. Oh my God, he didn't shut up. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. So it doesn't mean that it's all, okay, it if they're looking at that and going, oh my God, he's so full of himself and that's really bothering me. Yeah, he might be acting in that way and he might be coming out of shadow. Let me prove how great I am. Let her know all these wonderful things about me and then she'll like me. So he might be coming from an insecure place. Now if you're sitting there and you're going, oh, this guy just has no clue that he's talking, and you're chill and you're just noticing, and in your mind you're like, yeah, he's not going to be for me, or I'm not feeling connected. Maybe there's no shadow lurking, but if there's an energy around it, like, oh my God, what an idiot, he's so obnoxious, like anything that like gets under your skin, there,
right,
that's an indicator that there's something unhealed. So it doesn't mean that the other person's not acting in an inappropriate way or shadowy way. I just offer to your question that anytime we're being out of alignment, not being our true self, having old patterns show up like, oh, I better not speak that. I better not share that because it can cause drama. Or let me just take care of everybody else because then, people pleasing, because then everybody's going to want me and everything's going to be peaceful. These patterns come from some underlying belief that's creating it. And so we kind of need to dig underneath and go, why am I acting this way? Why am I believing this about this person or about me? And that's the beginning. And then when we really reveal this, it's so freeing, it's so enlivening, it's just like empowering.
right,
And if we don't know it's underneath the surface, it just brews and we come out sideways. And that's where all the conflict and the drama comes from. Unresolved uh, patterns of belief and patterns of being.
right. And that's when dating becomes exhausting.
Exhausting. I'm not meeting anybody. They're all this, they're all that, and a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blaming. But
Right,
ultimately, when I work with my clients, they show me their profile. They show me, what they've been telling me, what's good, what's not good. And I look at it and I can see that it's not a bold, this is who I am. Well, if I'm like this, I may not have anybody reaching out to me. Or I want to share this because then a lot of people will want to date me. But do you really want, I always say I can get you in a date in a heartbeat, but do you want a date or a relationship, or do you really want your partner?
right,
So it starts with, who are you and what are the blind spots that get in your way? And then we build on that. And that's when people start to have such high quality dates and meet their partner because they've done the work.
wow. I love that. I love that. I so agree with that. It's not about just going on dates and for the sake of having dates, unless that's what they want. But if they hire us, that's not what they want. Our clients want a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
So, maybe they go on less dates, but they're higher quality and
Right.
more compatible.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're so clear about who you are and what you want, from a full place, not a need place. But
Right,
I love my life. I love myself, and I'm ready to open to a new partner. You call in a very different kind of guy. Plus, you'll also be noticing much more quickly who's not your fit.
right,
Most people, when I work with people, they don't get past the first conversation with my clients because they're zooming in on oh, this is not for me. And this is not being picky. This is being, this is healthy discernment. That,
Right,
if they start to feel constricted in their body, or they're feeling scared in some way, or they're noticing they're in their head and not their heart, there's something going on there. And that needs to be listened to. And so maybe it's more work that they have to do, or
right,
maybe it's just not a fit. I really am very protective of my clients with that very thing about exhaustion, because
right,
it can feel like a full-time job, but it could also be so streamlined and so effective that you're sitting across from a person that you deeply desire and want to be with, not a, oh my God, looking at the clock and waiting for it to be over.
right. Do you have any preference on ways to meet men? Do you prefer organically in real life, or do you prefer dating apps, a combination of both? And how to meet men in real life, if that's one way that you use.
Sure. Well, I think we need to just acknowledge that online dating is an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool. I
Right,
think it was last week or whatever. I read something. I think it said 60 to 70% of new couples meet online. We can't ignore that. That it's the easiest way to meet people. Yes, you need to know how to navigate it. Yes, you need to know which apps to be on. Yes, you need to know how to do it. Most people have no clue, and all I hear is it doesn't work, and blah blah blah. It does, and I can't tell you how amazing it is. It's an amazing tool to reach a lot of people, and if you know what you're doing, you can be very specific and get some really high quality dates. And for
right,
anyone that's saying, "Yeah, no way," trust me, you can. So I see it all the time. And so many of my clients have met their partners online.
yeah,
So it's a yes and. Yes, online dating works. And I really strongly encourage my clients to do it with my help, because a lot of times they are scared or they don't know how to do it well. And there are great guys everywhere. Put down your phone and look around. You're in
right,
line at the grocery store, you're shopping, at the department store, you're at a movie, you're by yourself, somebody else might be by themselves. Be aware of your surroundings, follow the joy, follow the things that you love. There are great people everywhere. It's just more limited. It just is, and it's just a reality.
yeah.
Tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday actually, or whenever, it doesn't matter because this is going to be aired
Oh,
another time. Doesn't matter.
one
But
day.
one day, someday, but in a couple of days, I'm doing my first in-person singles mingle locally.
No,
Yeah, because
congratulations.
everybody's like, I want to meet organically. And I am so excited about it because we have a whole bunch of men and women. We got the perfect amount of men and women together. Yes,
Wow.
I'll have some exercises for them to kind of get to know each other. And then I'm going to do a short presentation and invite them into having deeper, more conscious conversations, so that it's not just, hey, what do you do for a living and how long have you been divorced? I mean, you can go pretty deeply on that to some extent, but what's your heart's desire, and how can we lower the masks of, oh, I'm going to just look good and shine my light, but not drop into that authentic expression. So
Right,
I'm excited. There are a lot more of these popping up. I'm excited to do my first one. So yeah, there's opportunities to meet people organically, family functions, asking friends, hey, who do you know? I'm looking for someone like this, and be specific about the type of person you're looking for. Don't just say you're single. Say, I'm looking for a man in this age range who's into this and into this and into this, so they can paint a picture of what you're looking for. And ultimately, online dating, it's the easiest, best way to reach way more people.
right. That's wonderful. Oh my God. I loved, loved, loved everything you shared. And I'm so proud of you for putting this event together. I can't even imagine the amount of work that took. And
Oh,
that's
thank you.
awesome.
Thank
That's a
you. I'm
dream.
excited.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Is that in New Jersey or New York?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
New Jersey. Hmm.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So let's go back to the interview. So if you have a new client and she really doesn't want to go on dates. it happens sometimes that people hire us, women hire us, and they're like, I really don't want to go on dates. I don't want to go on a dating app. Um, what would you say to somebody like that?
Well, I would start with asking, well, what is it they do want? So if they say they don't want to go on a date, well, how are you going to meet somebody? What does that mean? You know, um, I always start with their dream and I ask them to dream big. So often we dream so small because
Right.
we're afraid that if we actually ask for what we want, that it may not work out or we might get it and it might crash and burn. These are some of the beliefs underneath. Oh, I want this, but I'm just going to sabotage myself because if I really get this amazing partner, they might leave me, they might die, they might cheat on me. So let me just not date at all. So we need to start with the North Star. What is it you truly desire? Uh, what do you want to be so full, right? And so we then, well, dating is kind of part of it. But if they have resistance to dating, then we need to look at what is it about the dating? What is it about the dating that's getting in the way? And then we have to pull back the covers and kind of look at what are the fears. And that's where the work begins. And that's when people can really feel the self confidence and the clarity and empowerment to be able to go, yes, of course I'm ready to date. So sometimes we need to start there. What's the block? What's the resistance? What do you want? What's the challenge? And then let's work toward that. Because if it's something you want and it's something important, then let's figure out a way. This is where I start with my clients. And then we do this thing called a relationship blueprint exercise that gets so crystal clear about who they are now, what brings them the most joy,
Right.
and what are they looking for in a partner to match them. So these are some of the things, the foundational, the groundwork before the dates. Because if somebody doesn't want to go on a date, there's a really good reason. They've been hurt in some way, and we need to unpack that and make sure that they are safe and they are ready to do that. There's dating a lot of people. I call it dating research. Get to know yourself, see what shows up, see what you like, see what you don't like, and have fun. And then there's something to be said about meeting your person soon out the gate. I mean, for example, I have been dating a little here, a little there, and then a couple of dates here, a couple of dates there, but nope, nope, nope. And then I met my person and it was like, I knew it right away. So I stopped the dating as soon as I really knew and he really knew. I don't need 200 dates. It's like, if it's right, it's right. With that said, I've done a ton of work and he's done a ton of work. So we're very much on the same page. So you got to know yourself. You got to know what you want. And yes, have some fun and do the exploration and date away. And frankly, it is a lot of fun. And there's a part of me that's like, oh man, I met somebody so quickly. I missed out on all the dating. But at the end of the day, no, thank you. I'd rather not kiss all those frogs and just meet the guy, meet my king.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it that you met him so fast. How did you know he was the one? Or a better question, maybe. What when you were going on dates, something that I think will serve more the ladies. When you were going on your dates, I know you didn't go into many, it seems like you didn't go to too many, but did you prepare yourself before going on the date? Like you did a little meditation or dance, or did you have an idea of who you wanted to be during the date? Did you have a ritual, something
That's
like that?
interesting. It's a great question. Well, I've been on and off dating for a while because I've been consciously choosing to be single. And as I've shared with my clients, there's a time to date and a time not to date. And when you're serious and when you're not serious, uh, I can't say I did necessarily a ritual before the date, other than the classic, what do I wear? How am I feeling? I will say though, and this is what I've shared with my clients, and how to spot the right person online. And I made a conscious decision before I went online. So my ritual of getting very aligned and very present with how I'm feeling. And when I went into the app, I mean, I made a pact with myself. I had one rose on Hinge to give away. And I said, he's got to have this particular quality. I'm not going to just give it to anybody. I'm not going to like just anybody. I am picking a very specific type of person. And if they're not there, I'm not going to do it. And it was that clear. Thank you. And I gave him the rose. And then the next day I got the message, oh my God, I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to speak to you. And he's like, I'm into this and this and that because he read my profile, which I know how to write profiles. I help people write great profiles. So my profile was kick ass. And his had enough in it for me to go, this is someone I want to meet. And we're still getting to know each other. I call him my man. We're exclusive. We're having an amazing time. And it's still very new. However, we're very present. We know ourselves and we're able to create a container of love and respect and vulnerability.
Oh, I love your story. If I
Thank
am
you.
hearing you well, you contacted him with the
I
role.
did. I
That's
did.
great. That's great. Because
And
sometimes women, there is a big conversation about feminine energy, and I love that. And part of my work is that I do the energy, the energetics is the feminine energy. But sometimes women are like, no, I'm not gonna contact because I'm gonna come out as needy, and so
yeah, I highly, highly, highly encourage all of my female clients to reach out to people. And again, I teach them how to engage, how to
right.
message, how to write their profile so they can get more men reaching out to them. However, and the men want us to do that. It's a different stage of life. When we were in our 20s and 30s, men had a different drive. And it's not to say that they're that much different, but they are. They have careers, they have elderly parents they're taking care of. They're juggling too. And it's okay for us to go, hi. It's okay to raise our hands. And we can be in the feminine every step of the way after that. And frankly, there's nothing wrong with being an empowered woman saying, hey, I noticed you. Hello. It's almost the same thing as being out in the world and smiling at somebody. It's just a different way of doing it. So if there's resistance, I get it. We've been programmed to let the guy make the first move and be in the masculine. And it's very limiting because it's a busy world online and you want to stand out. So get in their inbox and write something interesting. And that's a great way to meet some really spectacular people.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. That's life-saving, time-saving. So my next question has a little bit to do with the logistics. I don't know if you're okay going there of
Yeah, sure.
texting. There is a big thing going on. There is a underneath fear of women becoming pen pals. Women,
Becoming what?
like texting each other forever,
Oh,
and
pen pals. Yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
and the guy never, saying, okay, let's go on, let's talk over the phone, or let's go on a date, or something like that. What is your approach in this subject of timelines, maybe how to? I know it's very strategic, so I don't know if
It
you are
is
okay.
strategic, and I call myself the no rules girl because
Yeah, I
these are
know.
just guidelines. Some people will say, don't text anybody for a week, or only text in a few days, or be careful not to over text. I do a whole masterclass on how to text and message each other. So, being that there are no rules, my general guideline is be online, message somebody. And when you start to engage with them, message enough to know that this is somebody that you're interested in and they can hold a little bit of an interesting conversation. Don't go too deeply in messaging. Then you're having a relationship with a phone. So you want to be able to get a sense that they can banter with you and they're somewhat interesting to you. And then I always encourage people as soon as possible within the week, if not several days, say something like, "Oh, I would love to hear your voice. Might we grab a call sometime or a video chat?" throw it in their court and get on the phone and get a feel for their energy. Now, here's the thing. I love dating strategies like this. I love supporting people in learning how to do it well. And here's an example of why I want to encourage people to do some of the inner work before the strategies, because you could have all the greatest strategies and it still be frustrating and not finding the successful quality person you're looking for. So I had this woman come to me. She was in her early 60s, 2.5 years out of a relationship that was very painful, ended very painfully, but she was so happy to be out of. And she was like, I am ready to go back out there. I want to meet somebody. I'm on the apps. But she kept sabotaging herself. Every time she messaged somebody or somebody messaged her, she would just get so nervous. Or if she was about to meet somebody, she found herself overeating and then she would even cancel because she just felt ugly and fat and all that stuff.
I know.
So she was like, I don't understand it. If I really want a partner, why do I keep getting in my own way? Why do I not return phone calls? So there's a lot of things. So bottom line is we started there. She wanted this. We got clear about what she wanted. We did the relationship blueprint exercise and we looked at her history and her patterns. And then we did the shadow work, the work that I do to help people really reveal what's the thing? What's the thing that's costing you? What's the thing that's keeping you stuck? And with this particular process, she remembered, and you don't have to remember your past, but this particular woman remembered a moment when she was 16 years old, 15, 16. She was starting to date boys, and her father shamed her. Her father
Mm,
gave her some very strong language around her being ladylike, and that
mm.
crushed her. And so she looked at me with these big doe eyes and she was just like, that's why I'm sabotaging this because I'm afraid daddy's going to be disappointed. you know,
Oh,
her father wasn't even in the picture anymore, but inside of her, there was that fear of rejection, fear
wow.
of the shame. So we unpacked it, we released it, she let it go, and she was like, yes, I am ready now, because that had no bearings on the present anymore. And then within a couple of weeks, she was in a relationship. She was free. Exactly. She
Ah,
was free.
yes.
And that's what we need to do. So people that say, give me the dating strategies, I can give you the dating strategies. And then you're
Yes,
going to
not gonna
call
work.
me and say, I'm not meeting anybody good. They're all crap. They don't, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't work.
It
But
doesn't.
once we are in a good inner space, it does work because a lot of things need to be learned. Thank you so much. I know you have a gift for our ladies in the audience. Would you mind to share it with them?
Absolutely. I have something really cool for your audience. I'm
Yes.
doing a special contest, and I have a course called the Relationship Toolkit course. It is an awesome course. It's valued at $700. And what it is it helps you understand your relationship story, really start to dig into what are your beliefs and what is sabotaging you, and helps you get those healthy boundaries, helps you heal that part of yours so that you can be more vulnerable and trust yourself, how to really know your worthiness, and so much more. And I'm in the course with you, supporting you with questions. And then you actually get a session with me at the end. So there'll be one winner of the course, but there's multiple second place prizes as well. So for anybody that wants to sign up and enter the contest, I'll give you the link. I mean, it's easy. It's midlifeloveoutloud.com/contest. Be sure to put your correct email and your phone number so I can reach out to you, and let me know in the form why it should be you. And we pick a winner once a month. We pick a winner, and this timing was perfect because we just launched it.
That is fantastic, Junie.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Thank you.
So fun. I love it. It feels playful. I love the energy behind it.
Thank you, hon.
High
Thank you.
value, but in a playful way. Love
Thank
it.
you. That's what I'm looking for. Like, how
Yes.
can we all have
Well,
some more fun? Let's win some prizes and change our lives at the same time, right?
yes. It doesn't have to, transformation doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. I mean, it can be lighter at times. I love it. Thank you so much, Junie. I appreciate it. You have 3 minutes if you want to say anything else before we go. I know you have to go. So I'm keeping the time.
Yeah, thank you for that. I just from my heart to everybody that love is our birthright. We're not meant to do this journey alone. And yes, we all can have great friends and wonderful family. There's something about the container of a healthy relationship, and that is for everyone. It
Right.
starts with you, though. Become your own soulmate. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to date yourself. Learn how to give to yourself. And from that place, you will fall in a very different type of person. So don't give up. Keep going. Love is worth it. And it starts with loving yourself.
Oh, beautiful words. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.